Yo, what's going on, man? Thank y'all for tuning in to another Daily Fitness live stream show. We got a late evening show for you for today, but hopefully y'all is good and ready. It's been a minute, but your boy's been trying to get back in his routine. Yes, sir. You know, summertime and stuff like that been happening, but it's all good. We gonna make the best of it as we can, as we gonna keep on pushing. But anyway, we got a good show lined up for you today, man. Hopefully everybody having a good day. Hopefully you had a good day at work. You're getting off work, or about to get off work, or been off work. Hopefully having a good day. But if you're not, we gonna let Mr. Chow break it down to you.
Oh, you're having a bad day? Did you die?
I got shot.
But did you die?
And as long as you didn't get shot and you're still alive, you're still here, you're still able to make something happen, you gotta get up, wake up, focus, keep on grinding, keep on, pushing forward and pushing through, reminding your business to do what you gotta do to make something happen and just be great every single day and don't quit. Let's go. Yes, sir. Here's my thing. Got to turn my sound down on my phone before we get all sorts of buzzing. The Cash App and Venmo. So we are multi-streaming on multiple different platforms: YouTube, Twitch, Kick, Rumble, and Facebook. If you're on YouTube, do your boy a favor when you see that thumbs up pop on your screen, hit that like button. It's greatly appreciated. Get the algorithm out. Contributors to today's show is Cash App and Venmo. Cash App is Daniel2888. Venmo Daniel-00. And today we're going to talk about celebrity clones conspiracies. Yes, sir. We got to talk about those because I was looking at some stuff and I had just happened to come across some things. And your boy was like, this will be a very interesting video to cover, because I did come across this video which got some striking similarities with like a current famous streamer that's going on, because I came across some stuff that I was looking at and I was just grazing through, the internet streets, and I had came across this video that that was really interesting, that lined up with a current day streamer who everybody knows about. He does the Streamer University situation, but this video that we're gonna look at is gonna go over and speak on cloning and celebrity cloning. And the way they talk about it in this video, granted, if you believe it or not, conspiracy, whatever, turns out a lot of these theories have been turned out to be facts anyway. But the way they described it in this video, you're gonna look and see text messages that some of the streamers' close pals had, in the text messages that were given allegedly or unallegedly were practically lining up with what this video interprets as a cloning situation that happens to other celebrities. So we just gonna dive in. I ain't gonna waste no time. Let's just go ahead and get right into it. So we're gonna get to the video, then I'll go over and go back and forth and, show the other streamer person I'm talking about. But we all know who it is. But this video here we're going to look at, it's talk about Madonna. It says, I work for Madonna, and she told me that the real Beyonce never made it out. Oh, boy. This would be a interesting one, because it's like, you're going to see or hear how this kind of ties up. So we're going to go ahead and get this thing started. Let me go ahead and get this all put together so we can get this going, because this is going to be a pretty lengthy, how long? It's not too long enough. But we're going to interject as the video goes. Shout out to Hidden Horrors. We're going to go ahead and react to this video. I got to put their name in the description as this video goes out. We're going to check out this video and take a look at this and get an interesting understanding of celebrity clones and see if they actually hold weight in today's situation and what we hear, what we see about celebrities being, duplicated, if you will. All right. So let's go ahead and dive in and check out this video. So shout out to Hidden Horrors. And here we go. Let's go ahead and run through it. So here we go. So the video is a fictional story. It's got to be fictional, right? Because it's built around conspiracy theories and public speculation. While it may draw inspiration from real events and public figures, everything here is dramatic and interpretation for entertainment purposes only. Nothing in this video should be taken as facts, and we make no claims about real-life events. Any similarities to actual people or situations are coincidental beyond publicly known information. Viewer discretion is advised.
I worked for Madonna for 3 years, and she told me something that still makes my hands shake when I think about it. She said the real Beyonce never made it out. At first, I thought she was drunk, jealous, or losing her mind. But then she showed me the photographs. Then she played me the recordings. Then she made me watch the videos frame by frame until I saw what she saw. And finally, she introduced me to the woman who wears Beyoncé's face but is not her. What I'm about to tell you will sound impossible, but every word of it is true. It was March 2003.
All right, so it says a lot of people wearing people's faces. A lot of people wearing people's faces, but it's not really them. Now, let's just go down a little bit. Let's go down this rabbit hole a little bit. Let me see. Let's just go down this rabbit hole. Maybe my fan is on too high, so I think I can hear that thing in my headphones. No, I can't. All right, cool. Let's just go down this quick rabbit hole real quick. Let's take a look at a couple of faces that look like the person but didn't seem like they were there. We're gonna start out with this one. Let me see. It was not this one. You know what? We're gonna do some. We're gonna do some.
You gonna tell them about the weed we got in the truck?
Hold on, let me pull this up. Hold on, stop this real quick. All right, here we go. Let's see. There we go. Let me see if I can find this first real quick. So let me see. Let's see. I'm gonna do this one first. Let me see if they still got this one up, because this one was hard to find. Because, you know, Kanye West done met Trump twice at this point. But the first time he met Trump, I don't know if y'all remember that. Yeah, blonde hair, and he just came off of a rant that he did with Jay-Z. And, you know, Buddy Head was blonde. And I'm trying to find it, but, you know, they probably went ahead and stuffed that one, because Buddy was looking like an episode from the movie Get Out, if I can find it. Let me see if I can find it. Let me see. Kanye West, blonde hair, Trump. Vote for Donald Trump. Vote for Donald Trump. Let me see. Where is it? Let me see. Oh, really? Kanye West is a hateful. I can't look up Kanye West? Wow. Oh, really? If I look up Kanye West with blonde hair. What? I gotta show y'all this. Look at this. Look at this. If you look up Kanye West with blonde hair, if you can see right here, up here in my search bar, right up here at the top over here, I just put in Kanye West, blonde hair. This phrase may be associated with hateful behavior. TikTok is committed to keeping our community safe, working to prevent the spread of hate speech. Or tell me I'm on the right track without telling me I'm on the right track. All right, well, okay, well, sorry, TikTok. I guess we can't search Kanye West with blonde hair. We have to look for just a regular. So if I type in Kanye West, what do we get? Okay, there it goes. Kanye West is in the search bar without the blonde hair. We get all this right here. Oh, okay, TikTok. All right. Well, we're going to have to go to the good old uncensored. Let me see. Kanye West. I know where to find him on this one. You know, you go to the old Twitter, the old X space, you know, that place there has, you know, you can see any and everything. Let me see. Where can we find it? Oh boy. Where we at? Let me see. I guess the blonde hair Kanye, they went ahead and made him disappear, huh? I don't have my, there we go. I got my multi-chat on. So if you said something to me in the multi-chat, I was not able to see it. I just put it up now, so I can't see any multi-chats if you put a chat out to me. So my bad. I'm just putting it out. I'm trying to find Trump Kanye when he met Trump the first time. Oh, Jesus, that ain't Trump. Here we go. Twitter at it again. Showing me some cakes over here. Good Lord. All right, focus, Danny. Focus. We can't find Kanye with blonde hair, y'all. That's crazy. You cannot find Kanye, Mr. West, with blonde hair. So we just going to continue on with the video, and I'm going to look for it on the side. So here we go.
And Madonna had been drinking heavily for 3 nights straight. This was not normal. She was disciplined, controlled, almost mechanical about her health and image. But that week, something had broken inside her. She would stand at her penthouse window for hours, staring out at the New York skyline, whispering things I could not quite hear. On the 3rd night, she called me into her study at 2 in the morning. I found her surrounded by folders, photographs scattered across her desk like evidence at a crime scene. Her eyes were red, but not from tears, from exhaustion, from something that looked like terror. She did not say hello. She just looked at me and said, "How much do you think fame costs?" I gave some useless answer about hard work and sacrifice. She cut me off. "Not that, I mean the real cost. The price they do not tell you about in interviews or documentaries. The price that legends pay to become legends." The way she said legends made my skin crawl, like it was not an achievement, but a curse. She picked up a photograph from her desk and held it toward me. It was Beyoncé, but the image was strange, unsettling. I could not immediately identify why. "Look at her eyes," Madonna said. "Really look." I looked, and once I saw it, I could not unsee it. There was something flat about them, something that did not reflect light the way human eyes should.
You see, we see this all the time. We do come across this a hell of a lot when you see people go through a metamorphosis, a transformation, kind of similar to like when Kai Cenat, when he cut his hair and cut his dreads. Like ever since then, his eyes ain't been the same. You know what I mean? Like you look into his eyes, you can clearly tell that something is off. Something ain't there. Something is not right. It's always the eyes. The eyes don't ever lie. You look into somebody's eyes, you can just tell something is missing. Something ain't there. And there's been quite a few celebrities seen that way. And I'll tell you right now, trying to find Kanye West with blonde hair, bro, they scratched this shit off the internet. Like, they scratched that there he is. I found him. Okay, do y'all remember this Kanye West? I found him. Jesus, they was like, nah, we don't remember no Kanye West with blonde hair. Meets Trump. I do remember, but they ain't got the video footage no more of when he met Trump. This right here. Okay, if we could find this video would be great because bro looked like a straight up machine on this one. But as you can see here, when Kanye West had blonde hair and he had met Trump, bro was looking like help me, help me. But you know, he was in that get out state. See if I can put this up on here for y'all to see what I'm talking about. Let me see if I can get this right. All right, so here we go. So this is Kanye when he had blonde hair. I wish I could find the video to this, but this is when he had blonde hair. Right after he did his rant on Jay-Z and stuff and all that stuff, he disappeared off the scene. And I remember Kim Kardashian and all them was all like, or Kim Kardashian, they was all saying that Kanye's having a mental breakdown and all this stuff, and they went and grabbed his ass, right? And then he comes back, and his hair was black when he made the rant. I remember his hair prior to this was black. Then he comes back, he has blonde on the top and black on the sides. I'm like, nigga. If you could see the video, I wish I could find this video, because you see more pictures of Kanye. Like when he had that blonde hair, something was off. Something was superiorly off when dude had blonde hair. Something was mega wrong, like mega wrong. But you know, like straight up. Like I remember when he had this hair right here, bro. This was not the Kanye that we know of. Like this dude here that bro was on complete robot stage. Like somebody had tampered into his. To his microchip that was placed inside of him. I wish I could find this. I wish I could find the video. If I could show you this video, man. This video was wild because it was like you could see it in real time. You could tell bro was gone. It was like, oh nigga, they got you. They got a hold of you. And it's not on Twitter. It's not on Twitter. You type in Kanye West blonde hair, nothing comes up. They scratched this down. Maybe if I just say he met Trump, but he met Trump twice. So he had to meet Trump again in order for them to scratch that first one. Let me see. Kanye West meet Trump. Let me see if let's see if they put the blonde hair one on there. Cause I remember that one like it was yesterday. See, okay. 2018. So here's the, so okay. So they gave us a picture. All right. You know what? I think if I just keep scrubbing, I'll find it. But we're going to go back to the video and keep going. But I think if I keep scrubbing, I'll find it eventually. We are going to keep scrubbing. But I do want to find that video just to show you, like, his eyes, bro. His eyes was so gone. Let's see, he met Trump. Let's find, let me see, type in 2018, see if I can find it. Let's see, 2018. Kanye meets Trump in 2018. Maybe this will help me find the video if I type that in. Hell no. Hell no. Because he had black hair first, but that blonde hair Kanye, bro was gone. He was out of there, bro. He was not there. And, you know, there's other celebrities that I could find too, but that one in particular, this Kanye right here, yeah, bro. This Yeezy, with that blonde hair on the top and black on the sides, yeah, that was allegedly that was reporting number 32153479 at the facility. Allegedly. All right, let's continue with the videos. Here we go. So they said they got Beyonce, and they said that Beyonce is not the same Beyonce. So let's continue.
They were too perfect, too symmetrical, too empty. That photograph was taken 2 weeks ago at a private event, Madonna continued. Now look at this one. She handed me another photograph. Same woman, same face, but this one was from 1999, from the early Destiny's Child days. The difference was subtle but unmistakable. The eyes in the older photograph had depth, warmth, irregularity. They were human eyes. Do you see it? Madonna asked, her voice barely above a whisper. I did not want to see it, but I did. What happened to her? I asked. Madonna poured herself another glass of wine, her hands trembling. The same thing that almost happened to me. The same thing that happened to others before us. They took the real Beyonce, and they replaced her with something else. Something that can handle the fame. Something that will never break. Never age inappropriately.
See, you can see like these old pictures, the eyes, bro, the eyes are so lively. You can always see the life in the eyes. The soul is still in the eyes. And then after that, bro, that soul leave or that alleged clone appears, and it's just like the life is gone, bro. It's like you can just see it. It's just not there anymore. It's just missing. You can just see it missing. It's in the eyes. It's just missing.
I never lose the hunger. A copy, a manufactured vessel, built to be worshipped. I should have walked out. I should have called someone, shot and reported that my employer was having a mental breakdown. But something in her voice, something in those photographs kept me frozen in place. They call it the identity harvest, Madonna said, and it has been happening for decades. She opened a drawer and pulled out a leather journal worn and filled with frantic handwriting. I have been documenting this for almost 20 years. Ever since they tried to do it to me in 1984. I refused, but it cost me everything to escape. And I have been watching ever since, seeing them do to others what they wanted to do to me. Who are they? I asked. I do not know what to call them. The architects, the handlers, the machine underneath the machine. They are the ones who decide who becomes untouchable and who burns out. And they have a process for the ones they choose to elevate. A process that requires taking the original and storing them somewhere while a perfect copy takes their place. That is impossible, I whispered. I used to think so too, Madonna said. But then I watched it happen to Britney, to Christina, to others. And now I am watching it happen to Beyonce. Her solo album is about to drop. Crazy in Love is about to make her the biggest star in the world. And the girl from Houston, the real girl, she's already gone. She never made it out of the process.
And that's crazy when you think about this and the way they're depicting this story. how like Madonna's been in the game for a long time, and she's sitting here basically recruiting everybody to be put in these predicaments or in these situations, or have a body double or stunt double or clone double, while the real body is put away somewhere else or disposed of, I shall say, for lack of better terms. Allegedly, it's all fictional. It's interesting when you see this, because then you look at the longevity of these people's lives and you see the risk that they go through trying to prolong a life. All these surgeries and Botoxes and all these things they do to try to just keep living for as long as they possibly can, fighting the inevitable. It's almost weird how you can kind of like see it in real time, even though this is a fictional story, allegedly.
She leaned forward, her eyes burning into mine. I am going to prove it to you. Next week, we are going to Los Angeles. There's a meeting scheduled, a potential collaboration. You are going to meet the woman who wears Beyoncé's face, and you are going to see for yourself that she is not human anymore. My throat was dry. Why are you telling me this? Because I need a witness, Madonna said. Because I need someone to document what I have learned before they come for me too. And because you are about to see something that will destroy every assumption you have ever had about the entertainment industry. What I did not know then was that the meeting in Los Angeles would be the least horrifying part of what was coming. Madonna did not sleep for the next 4 days. Neither did I. She had me review everything, every piece of evidence she had compiled over the years. Photographs, documents, recorded conversations, medical files that should not exist. The files were the worst part. She had obtained them from someone she called the defector, a man who worked inside what they called the facilitation process. He had fled, gone into hiding. But before he disappeared, he had given Madonna a glimpse into the machinery. The documents describe procedures with clinical precision, neural mapping, consciousness extraction, archive storage protocols. They referenced subjects by code names, but the identifying details made it clear who they were talking about. Major stars, legends, people whose faces I had seen 1,000 times. One file detailed a procedure from 1999. The subject was a female pop star, age 22, who had recently achieved massive commercial success. The document described how her consciousness was extracted over a period of 6 months, gradually, so the transition would be seamless. The copy was activated in stages, learning from the original.
Now, I pause. So when you hear this, now there's just one thing that I do say about this. Whenever you sit here and you watch something like this, whether they regard it as fictional, fake, or whatever the case may be, fictional characters, one thing that is for damn sure is this: when them Epstein files came out, when them Livestream files came out, and the stuff that was in them, the stuff that was said, stuff that was in them, the video clips or whatever the stuff, all the stuff that was in it, a lot of things that was mentioned, that was talked about, and all that stuff. I think it's like time travel, potentially even cloning, or like a bunch of different things that came out of those Livestream files. A lot of things. I'm not sure if cloning did, but I think time travel was something that was spoken. A bunch of stuff, as well as a bunch of debaucherous activities towards children. Once those files came out, it's really hard to not believe anything else that comes out that's labeled a conspiracy theory at this point. Because if that situation of that level of evil and just debauchery and monstrosity of egregious things that happens, if that and all that stuff that they talked about in those documents, if all of that was all going around, like, then there is nothing, and I mean there's absolutely nothing. Matter of fact, I do have where's those young dudes I had on here last time? Let me see if I can find them. I think I could find, well, that's if this works. Let me see. I think I can find these young cats where they actually talked about something like this. Let me see. Oh my goodness. Let's see. Where y'all at? Okay, here it is. This is it, but where is the video of them talking about what I'm trying to find them talking about? I need to kill this little bug. This little bug is like hidden somewhere. Can't figure out where he is hidden at. Let me see, because these dudes, they were talking about this and they mentioned this. I can't seem to exactly find. Let me see where these dudes mention this shit at. I think I have it on my phone. I can find it easier on my phone than I can. Where? No, I'm not gonna be able to find it easily on here, because it's gonna be way harder to find on here than it would be. But anywho, hearing all that stuff though, it does make it hard to overlook this type of stuff now. It really does, because it's like, how is it that you could overlook this when in reality, you know, those files came out and they were true. It wasn't that they weren't false. A whole thing is going on, and you put it out there and you told everybody the truth and showed, and then you had the audacity to redact statements and cover up names and hide files, and then turn around. Oh, these guys got everything. They got hurt. Oh, wow. These people, I got to follow y'all. So, but when you notice all that was hidden and redacted, it's like, well, I guess the conspiracies is super true at this point. There's nothing you could do or say to like hide it. You know what I mean? There's nothing you could do or say to hide it. Like, seriously, there's nothing you can do to say to hide it, because when everything else comes out, you realize like, okay, so anything else you say, there's nothing past the possibility of truth, even if it's a conspiracy or not. There's nothing past the possibility, because of the as crazy as the LIVESTREAM files were. It's just like you can't hide anything else. You can't like not believe anything else, because they put everything out there, and it's just like, how you expect anything else to be said to be impossible? Because it seems like the LIVESTREAM files would have been impossible, but they're like, yeah, they're true. It is what it is. I'm gonna hide it and blame somebody else for what they do. Anyway, let's keep going.
Memories and mannerisms until it could perfectly replicate her. The original was noted as archived successfully with a location code, AirC 7 Northwest. Where's that? I asked, pointing at the code. I do not know, Madonna said. But it is where they keep them. The originals, alive but stored, conscious but trapped, watching their copies live the lives they were supposed to live. The idea was so horrifying that my mind kept trying to reject it, but the documents were too detailed, too specific. They included brain scans, consciousness transfer rates, integration timelines. This was not science fiction. This was documentation of something that had actually happened. Madonna showed me comparison photographs of a dozen different celebrities. She had collected images spanning their entire careers, arranged chronologically. And in every single case, there was a moment where the face changed. Not dramatically, not in a way that plastic surgery could explain, but subtly. A precision that replaced natural human irregularity.
Okay, I'll show you one of those. We'll look at that. One of the images, or the images of somebody, how they say somebody face changed, where the images slightly change when they, you know, get to a certain point or something happens, and we see the change in their look. We'll actually go with this right here. Let me see. Let me go ahead and pull this dude up. So. And after they should have this image up. Where is this image? Where's the before? Oh, Jesus, who we got here? Who we got here? Of course, y'all gonna make it hard for me to find what I'm looking for. Let's see. Did I spell that word right? I don't think I spelled that word. Here it is. Here's the photo I was looking for. This is it. As you can see this right here, like this before and after. Like him, the before and after. Kind of like what they were saying. Like the video was saying how like you'll see like a subtle change, like, you know, disappear for a while, come back or whatever. You'll notice there's like a subtle change in the person. You know what I mean? Yeah, like they act different. The eyes, look at the eyes. You see the life and the no life. And the nose ain't even the same on these ones right here. Not even the same nose. Like that's not the same nose for sure. It's not the same nose. The mouth don't even look the same. The mouth is different. They ain't even do his mouth right. Like it's just, you can see the subtle difference, the subtle different change in the person. And the way I look at it is the only person you should really speak to in like cases like this, it's like go to the mama. Mama know her baby. For sure. Like somebody should go to his mama and be like, hey, is that your baby? And just you'll get your yay or nay right then and there. There ain't no way you faking that from your own parent. Your parents are gonna know their baby. Parent gonna know their baby. Always ask the parent. But let's continue. But just show you like the subtle changes. You see what they're talking about. When you look at it in real life characters, you notice it's like a subtle change. You can see it. You can see it. Don't let them lie to you. But again, this is all alleged. This is all conspiracy. This is all fictional character stuff. Anyway, let's keep going.
A perfection that was too perfect. The technology has improved, Madonna explained. In the 70s and 80s, the copies were easier to spot. They moved stiffly. Their facial expressions were limited. Their eyes were too blank. But now, the process is refined. The copies are nearly indistinguishable. Nearly. But there are always tells if you know what to look for. She pulled out a videotape and loaded it into the player. It was footage from a televised interview with a major pop star from 2001. Madonna played it at normal speed first, then slowed it down. "Watch her breathing," she said. I watched. For the first 30 seconds, everything looked normal. Then the star stopped breathing. Her chest did not move. Her shoulders did not rise or fall. She spoke an entire paragraph without taking a single breath. Then suddenly, she inhaled sharply, almost violently, like someone had reminded her that humans need oxygen. "They forget sometimes," Madonna said. "The copies are more efficient than human bodies. They do not need to breathe as often. So sometimes they go too long without it, and they have to correct. It is a glitch, a tell." She showed me more footage. Different stars, different interviews, but the same anomaly. Periods of no breathing followed by sudden theatrical inhalations. Once I knew what to look for, I saw it everywhere. But the most disturbing evidence was the audio recordings. Madonna had somehow obtained recordings from private sessions, therapy sessions that certain stars were required to attend as part of their contracts. She would not tell me how she got them, only that they existed. She played one for me. A young woman's voice, clearly distressed, speaking to someone off camera. "I do not feel like myself anymore," the voice said. "I look in the mirror and I recognize my face, but it is like I am watching someone else wear it. Like I am a passenger. Does that make..."
And here's another one. I'll show you another one of like the faces, you know what I mean, of how, you know, and this one, this could probably not just be because, you know, they got masks. They got masks that they have out there. Allegedly, these, you know, these are alleged masks. I mean, I'm just making up stuff. This is all fiction. I'm just making up strange things. But, you know, they have like masks on certain situations where some people with the mask on, and they say like this right here is a mask, allegedly. They say this one is a mask. So check this one out. They say this here is a mask. Is that, you know what I mean? And this dude looked different throughout his whole entire career. Like his whole first term and second term, he looked different the entire time. Every time I looked at him, I was like, this is not the same dude. I was like, he constantly keep looking different, for sure, for sure. I mean, he aged horribly his 8 years in the was he in there for 8 years or 4 years? I can't remember if Biden was in there for 4 years or 8 years. Whatever he was in there for, Buddy was changing like a gallon of milk that's just been left outside the fridge for like a month straight. I mean, he was changing like rapidly. It was like rapido. He just kept changing and changing and changing and changing. It was wild. Just wild watching him change. Anyway, but let's keep going. Let's keep going.
Makes sense. The therapist's response was chilling. That is a normal part of the integration process.
You hear that? The therapist's response was chilling. That's just the normal response of the integration process. Now, granted, we have a lot of therapists or push towards therapy and therapists nowadays in today's world. So it's interesting how this fake fictional video that they say that's at that they call this at the beginning, that when you look at certain things, you have to like pay attention, ask yourself, like having therapists all the time, like therapists, are they really needed? You know what I mean? Like maybe they are to an extent to help you get over it, but having a therapist for 10 to 20 years is kind of egregious in my opinion, but whatever. But it's interesting that the therapist in this case is helping the person try to cope with the fact that they're being taken over. Kind of like the Get Out movie. You remember the movie Get Out, where where the lady put him under hypnosis and made him a passenger in his own body, kind of like the dudes, like the like the workers of the house. You know, remember the other black dude in the house when he took a picture of him and the flash hit his eyes and he came back to, and he was trying to tell him to get out, to run, to leave, and everything. They had to take him away. When they took him away, they brought him back, and he was back to his get out self. You know what I mean? He was back in that sunken place while the other version of him was deep down. So whenever she had him sit on that couch and she was put him under hypnosis, and she made his self sink into his body, and all he could do was watch as somebody else rules his body, but he was trapped inside of his body watching. It's kind of like that situation right there. A therapist is coaching this person through that as they go into a sunken place, which is, it's easy to see people go through this when you look at how, certain people leave and come back for a while, be gone for a year or two and come back, and you look at them and you're like, oh, wow, you've changed. And sometimes the change be for the better, but then it's the eyes. The eyes always tell you what the change is every single time. Let's go.
The feeling will pass. You're simply adjusting to your new level of consciousness. But I do not remember agreeing to this, the woman said, her voice breaking. I do not remember signing anything that said they could do this to me. You signed, the therapist said firmly. It is in your contract. Section 47, subsection C, consciousness optimization for sustained career longevity.
I wonder if that's a thing. Consciousness optimization for sustain. Let's see if that's a thing. Is that really a thing? Consciousness optimization. Optimization for sustain. Well, what did he say? Optimization for sustain.
Section C. Consciousness optimization for sustained career longevity.
For sustained career longevity. Career longevity. Is that really a thing? I'm just curious. Is that really a thing? I mean, I get that'd be something you put in a contract, but is that really a thing? Optimizing consciousness for career longevity involves leveraging metacognition and mindfulness to build cognitive reserve, which buffers against burnout and wait a damn minute. Is this really a thing? Hold up, bro. Ain't no way. Ain't no way. Ain't no way. Ain't no way. You gotta be shitting me. Well, all right, here we go. Check this out. So I typed in consciousness optimization for sustained career longevity. I typed it in, and we're gonna go here first. Optimizing consciousness for career longevity involves leveraging metacognition and mindfulness to build cognitive reserves, which buffers against burnout and age-related decline. Research indicate that Research indicates that conscientious, self-aware, and deliberate recovery rhythms are more critical than intensity for sustaining professional performance over decades. Core strategies for cognitive sustainability. To maintain high-level professional performance over a multiple decade career, you can employ several evidence-based protocols that target different layers of consciousness and biological health. Neuroplasticity and cognitive reserve. Building infrastructure for the brain is essential to prevent the onset of degeneration. Targeted learning. Engaging in demanding new skills such as biological maintenance. Utilizing a cognitive longevity protocol involves treating brain health as a professional asset. This includes aerobic exercises to relieve growth factors and omega-3. Okay, all right. Nootropic support, strategic use of enhancers like cocoa polyphenols may provide extra energy for high quality work through these best. Okay, cool. All right, just checking, because all right, but the fact that they have this in here and you can find this. Maintain professional stamina by managing dopamine reward architecture and using recovery rhythms to restore the prefrontal cortex. Good Lord. Wow. So this is a thing. This is a thing. It's actually a thing. This is actually a thing. So what this video is telling us, that according to this fictional made-up story that we're watching, this fictional made-up story that... Kyrie, shut up! So according to this fictional made-up story, they're saying that in the contract, there was something called consciousness optimization for sustained career longevity. It said you did agree to this. Now, in this video, the way they do it is they do it by cloning you. They do it by cloning you. But in reality, it is actually a real thing. It's actually real. It's actually National Institute of Health. You know what? Let me just see what this is. Let me see if they actually have this in here. You know what? No, I'm not going to dive too deep into this. But man, oh man, what a brain coach does, science-backed cognitive optimization. A brain coach. Science-backed cognitive, there's a brain coach, outlines the cognitive longevity protocol to maintain brain health through real-time neuroplasticity and stress recovery systems, treating cognitive functions as the infrastructure to overcome executive plateaus and sustain performance. Bruh. So they're saying in this video that we're watching, they're saying that oh my gosh. So they're saying in this video, right, that that's allegedly whoever Beyonce or somebody was cloned, they didn't agree to this. So they agreed to it, but they agreed to it under this protocol, which is consciousness optimization for sustained career longevity. And come to find out, a brain coach can do this, and it outlines how to do this such thing by cognitive longevity protocols to maintain brain health through real-time neuroplasticity and stress recovery systems, treating cognitive functions and infrastructures to overcome executive plateaus and sustain performance. And they said that they can do that by cloning you. Oh my gosh. Or maybe trading your consciousness with somebody else or cloning you. And then, optimizing the clone and putting you somewhere else. Or like the movie Get Out, where they change the consciousness of the person. Or they could just mimic the brain chemicals from the person to the... I'm just saying, this is all hypothetical. This is all fiction. I'm making this stuff up. But I'm just saying, it's actually a thing. It's actually a thing. It's true. Let's click on it. What is a brain coach? And science-backed cognitive... Key takeaways: brain health optimization. This is what it uses. It's a neuroplasticity principle and brain rewiring to create lasting cognitive improvements through targeted behavioral interventions. The field assesses executive function and deficits. So that's why you see people able to go on and on and on. Chronic stress physicality reshapes brain architecture, reducing prefrontal cortex volume while hyperactivating the amygdala threat detection system. So it's a thing. It's a thing. It's actually a thing. It's not made up. It's not made up. All right, let's continue the video. Let's keep going.
You agree?
Wow.
The recording ended. Madonna looked at me. That was recorded in 2002, she said. 6 months before that artist became the biggest star in the world. 6 months before the real version of her was archived and the copy took over completely. I felt sick. Why are you showing me this? Because Beyonce is next, Madonna said. And in 5 days, you are going to meet the copy face to face. The meeting in Los Angeles was going to change everything I thought I knew about reality. The studio in Burbank looked ordinary from the outside, just another recording facility in a city full of them. But Madonna gripped my arm as we walked in, her nails digging into my skin. "Remember what I told you," she whispered. "Watch the breathing, watch the eyes, and whatever you do, do not let her know that you know." Beyonce arrived 20 minutes after us. When she walked into the room, the air seemed to shift. She was magnetic, radiant, impossible to look away from. This was Beyonce on the verge of becoming the Beyonce. You could feel the star power radiating off her like heat. She embraced Madonna warmly. "This is such an honor," she said, her voice smooth and perfect. They sat down and began discussing the potential collaboration. I stood to the side, trying to be invisible, trying to observe without being obvious. At first, everything seemed normal. Beyonce was charming, articulate, professional. She laughed at Madonna's jokes, asked thoughtful questions, contributed creative ideas. She was everything you would expect a rising superstar to be. But then I started noticing the small things. She blinked too regularly, exactly once every 4 seconds, like clockwork. Human beings do not blink on a precise schedule. We blink irregularly in response to light and dryness and thought. But Beyonce blinked like a metronome. And then came the breathing. She was mid-sentence talking about vocal layering techniques when her chest simply stopped moving. The words kept coming, her mouth kept forming them, but there was no breath behind them. 10 seconds, 20, 30. I counted. 45 seconds without a single inhale. Then, as if someone had flipped a switch, she took a sharp, sudden breath. Too sharp, too pronounced. Like she had just remembered that humans need oxygen. No one else in the room seemed to notice. Madonna caught my eye. Across the room. She had seen it too. The conversation continued. Beyonce's father, Matthew, was there, along with her manager and publicist. They discussed timelines, creative direction, potential producers. It all seemed so normal, so mundane. But I could not stop watching her eyes. They were beautiful, perfectly symmetrical. But they did not move the way human eyes move. When she looked at someone, her entire head turned. Her eyes did not shift first and then her head followed, the way yours or mine do. Instead, her head and eyes moved as one unit, mechanically precise. And when she thought no one was looking, when the conversation shifted away from her for a moment, her face went completely blank. Not relaxed. Blank, like a machine in standby mode. Her expression held no emotion, no thought, no humanity.
And we see this a lot today. We see a whole lot of blank expressions and no emotions, and there's a lot of stuff that's coming to light, regardless if you believe this or not. I mean, it's a fictional story, allegedly, but I mean, it's fictional, but I mean, damn. It turns out that this is actually a thing. You know, you're radiant consciousness optimization for sustained career longevity. And it turns out that they took that into a literal context instead of it being, I guess, a science experiment. They took it to the next level. And according to this video, they made it a clone video. Mindful and burnout prevention. Okay, so metacognition. So yeah, I mean, it's interesting. So, but you see a lot of this stuff go on and you just wonder, and you have to ask yourself some questions. It's like, how deep does this rabbit hole go if this is allegedly true? You know, how deep does this go? And when you see things like this, trust your senses. Trust your senses. I mean, we see it a lot. We see it a whole lot. I'm going to show you what I'm talking about. We see these things happen a lot. Let me give you a good example of what I mean when I say this. All right. For example, we're going to go to old Kai Cenat. All right. We're going to go to him. Man, so remember he cut his dreads, right? Let me see if we can find where he cut his dreads. Remember this? He had this episode right here where he cut his dreads where LeBron James was there,
okay, man, so let's.
and they cut his hair. I think that's his mama right there. I believe so. And then LeBron James was there. They were sitting there cutting his hair, having a good old grand old time. You know, and they went through, they cut his hair. It was all fun and games, cutting his hair, cutting his dreads or whatnot. Of course, LeBron James had to be there while they was doing it. But as you can see, they went through and they cut them all off. You know what I mean? And what he had left over was that right there. Which was interesting to see. Okay? But then as you go further on, I don't know if this happened before or after. I can't remember. Because I wasn't like studying everything. But then you have these weird episodes where these weird coincidences. I don't believe in coincidences, but you have these weird coincidences that happen. Like when he says things like this, for example.
And go straight into filming a crazy What if I cut my at a meal and go straight into filming a crazy show or movie that has to embrace another character? No, casting that without locks is insane.
And of course, after he cut his locks, he did end up getting a Hollywood movie role in Scary Movie 6. And remember, LeBron James was part of the reason for Kai Cenat getting his haircut, because LeBron James helped to cut Kai Cenat's hair. And we all know what LeBron James is about, right? So why would Kai Cenat say pretty much that if he ever cut his lock?
All right, so you have that right there, right? But then you take it to the next stage, right? And he had one of his friends spoke on him receiving a message from him. I want to show y'all this video, which is interesting when you listen to this video, and then we're gonna watch the rest of the other video and listen to the striking similarities that play in these videos. All right, so this is real videos. Then we're gonna watch the fictional video on YouTube that we've been watching. So listen to this one right here. So check this out.
This Kai Cenat die again. This Kai Cenat run out is now Kai Cenat. You don't understand this.
Kai just texted me and said, I'm underwater. My network is off. I'm in the ocean. I'm on the way to Antarctica.
Weird shit. I had a dream that, like, I swear I had a dream that, like, I had a dream Kai was a clone, bro.
You had a dream Kai was a clone?
Yeah, I had a dream he was a clone, and then Kai was under, like a, we were just talking, but like under, and I was going somewhere, and he was underground, like, and he was locked up, like the old him was locked up, like screaming and shit or whatever the fuck. I swear to God, bro, it was hella weird. It was hella weird.
Texas, bro. I know this next question will be pretty sensitive. And it's been asked by everyone. Is it true Kai Cenat sold his soul? I don't feel comfortable answering that. Can we take a break? Yeah, I don't feel comfortable.
All right, so we can go past this. But as you can see, you know what I mean? Like, you can see the subtle differences. You can see the subtle difference as he got his haircut. You can see the subtle differences. But the main thing I wanted you to notice about was, you know, what the first kid said, or what this kid said. He said he got a text message from Kai, and he got the whole he's underwater or something, and he's headed to Antarctica allegedly from a text messages. Now, you know, as you go on, you think some of this stuff is crazy, but then again, you look at them LIVESTREAM files, and all that stuff in the LIVESTREAM files is true, and a lot of that stuff is crazy and evil beyond repair. So it's really easy to kind of like look at that stuff and just be like, man, this stuff is crazy. What's going on? But then when you watch this video, and we continue to watch this video, and this fictional video that we're watching, then it's interesting to see and notice that, you know, everything that they're saying in fiction ties into real life. But let's keep going. Here we go.
Humanity. Just a beautiful, empty mask. Then someone addressed her, and instantly the warmth flooded back. The smile activated. The charm returned. But I had seen the nothing underneath. Madonna stood abruptly. Rebecca, could you grab my notebook from the car? I want to write down some of these ideas. It was a dismissal, a test, a way to see how the copy would react to my sudden movement. As I turned to leave, Beyonce's head swiveled toward me with unsettling speed. Too fast. No human neck moves that quickly. Her eyes locked onto mine, and for just a fraction of a second,
now see, that's one thing I always wondered. They try to make it seem like these things are clones, but is it really clones, or is it really shapeshifters at the end of the day? That's what I be thinking. Is it clones or is it shapeshifters? Those be the $1 million questions. Like, is this really like just people getting cloned, or is this like shape-shifting species that just that have been really good at taking the shape of another human form? And they have to say clones because they have to stay hidden. They have to hide themselves because they're weak. You know what I mean? And it's just interesting to think about, because you can't put nothing past nothing nowadays. Like, the word impossible is completely out of the realm. Like, you can't say nothing is impossible. Anything is possible. Anything is possible. It's just up to you on what your belief system is. And, you know, what side of the fence you play on. You know what I mean? Like, what side of the fence do you stand on? You stand on righteousness, or you stand on, I'll do anything to, you know, get what you desire. And, you know, you got to figure out what it is that you stand on, and, you know, what it is that you desire, and how would you get that when you attain it. When you fall victim to, you know, the whims that one will put on you to try to, I guess, pimp you, or extort you out of what it is that you like. Let me see if I can find my thing. Let me see if I can find that thing. I think I have it on my story. I think I do have it on my story. Let me see if I got it on my story real quick. Who the hell is this? Let's see. Where we at? Where is it? Here it is. Here's my thing. Okay, so here it is right here in this story. Oh, here it is. Yeah, this guy actually set this right here in my story. So we're going to watch what he says. So listen to this. Let's turn this up. Here we go. Can we play it?
You can see that what you do is you pretend to be people's friends. You find out what they want, what their weakness is, and you give it to them. If they want money, you give them money. If they want sex, you arrange for that. If they want drugs, you arrange for that. Whatever it is they want, their weaknesses, you feed them. And then you tell them, okay, I'm doing all this for you, and I just need these little favors. And you corrupt them. And you corrupt them until you can control them. And of course, you know what they're doing, so you can always blackmail them if they try to get out of line. But basically what controls them is the knowledge that if they don't go along with you, then they lose out on all these things they like. You know, if they play ball with you, then they become rich, they become famous, they have all of their desires sated, they get everything that they want, but in a mental state which is increasingly depraved and subject to manipulation. And that's also the Venetian method, that you win by corruption. And that the thing that the empire fears most of all is an honest man.
And there it is right there. Because at that point, you can't be corrupted. Can't nothing be taken from you and nothing can be used against you. But using your own desires or using your own, I guess, desires against you, whether it be like drugs, money, sex, or whatever, even love, even using love against you to get you to, to exploit you for it and then corrupt it. It's like the story as old as time. But let's keep going. Let's finish up this video. Let's keep going. We're halfway there. Here we go.
I saw something behind them. Not warmth, not curiosity, but calculation, analysis. Like she was scanning me, recording me, determining whether I was a threat. Then she smiled. "It was nice to meet you," she said. I mumbled something and left the room, my heart hammering. In the parking lot, I leaned against Madonna's car and tried to breathe. Tried to convince myself that I had imagined it, that the power of suggestion had made me see things that were not there. But I knew what I had seen. That was not a human being in that room. That was something else. Something wearing Beyonce's face. Madonna found me 10 minutes later. She did not say anything. She just handed me a manila envelope. "Open it when you get back to the hotel," she said. "It is the last piece of evidence. The thing that will make you understand that this is real. That the real Beyonce never made it out." That night, in my hotel room, I opened the envelope. Inside were photographs that would haunt me for the rest of my life. The photographs were labeled with dates and locations.
Oh, so he got a copy of them LIVESTREAM files. She handed some LIVESTREAM files. And it's like, you got, now you can, you can chalk this up to like similarities of getting handed a document of LIVESTREAM files and then, extorting you out of what you should and shouldn't know type stuff. You know what I mean? Like, you got to be careful with stuff like this, because at the end of the day, you don't know what's real and what's not. Corruption happens on all sorts of levels in the society that we live in nowadays. Nothing is played fair. Everything is done in a very negative way. But you have to find a way to also stay positive and stay a good man, a good righteous person through it all. Because then, you can't be bought. You don't have any desires that'll overtake you, that'll succumb you to any kind of vices or weaknesses. You know what I mean? And when you have that in you, let me see if I can find, what was it, Jim Brewer? Let me see if I can find him on my...
Mike Tyson said,
here he is, right
God's
here.
greatest soul.
I got you right here. Because whenever you get to that point, this is where you end up, because you have to understand something about this, because it's always a battle of good and evil. But listen to how the battle can play out, but you have to stand in your square. Listen to this.
Mike Tyson said, God's greatest soldiers are also the devil's favorite. Yes, and I tell people that have addictions, the guy that was in prison, you made it this far because you're God's soldier. So now if you think, unfortunately, a lot of us can't think spiritually. So if you think spiritually, good, evil. If the good team has a powerful player, the evil team is going to do everything they can to take that player out. Everything it can. Let's try giving them fame. Let's try giving them a drug addiction. Let's try making this person get someone pregnant and we screw their life up for a while. Let's try to make them resentful. Let's try to make them angry. Let's try to make them go out of character and get in a fight. Let's mess with their emotions. Let's take out someone they love in their life and crush them and turn them away from their maker. The devil hates good souls.
There it is, all day long. So when you're seeing this right here with the video that we're watching, you can't really say it's too far-fetched to believe, or it's non-believable, because at the end of the day, I mean, as long as you're corruptible, you're gettable, you're gottable, and everybody falls victim to some kind of one of the things that guy just named. We all fall victim to some of it at some point or some time. It's like, do you bounce back? Or do you, lose your faith in your belief system? Or do you go on a crushing tirade of just, being just as bad as the ones that that put you or that got you into that predicament. You know what I mean? It's understandable in a sense, because the battle never changes from good and evil, regardless of how you look at it. It never stops. And for this video to say that people may be cloned, I look at everything as shapeshifting. It's shapeshifters. That's what I believe it is. It's shapeshifters. People end up somewhere in probably a cold place, and then, you know, they can't get out because maybe it's part of the contract or something. But the shapeshifter, you know, probably does the shapeshifting in front of him, so they know like what's real and what's not. And maybe at some point in time, you know, they will get deleted, but the shapeshifter changes in front of them. So, you know, you realize it's not all just the cloning. It's actually shapeshifted species. But let's keep going.
The earliest was from December 2000, taken at what looked like a private facility. It showed Beyonce, the real Beyonce, sitting in a chair. She was wearing a white medical gown. Her head was connected to dozens of wires, nodes attached to her scalp like a crown of thorns. But it was her expression that destroyed me. She looked terrified. Not the performance of terror, but real animal fear. Her eyes were wide, her mouth slightly open, her hands gripping the armrests of the chair so hard her knuckles were white. The next photograph was dated 3 months later. Same facility, same setup. But this time, there were two figures. One was Beyonce, still connected to the wires, but her expression was different now. Blank, resigned, empty. The other figure stood beside her. It also wore Beyonce's face. The copy. It stood perfectly still, its posture unnaturally straight, its hands at its sides. It wore the same white medical gown, but its expression was not blank. It was focused, learning, absorbing. The subsequent photographs documented the process. The copy being trained, being taught to move like Beyonce, to speak like her, to smile like her. In some images, they stood side by side, mirror images except for the eyes. The original's eyes held depth and emotion. The copy's eyes were flat, empty, waiting to be filled. There was a photograph dated June 2001. The original Beyonce was thinner now, her face gone, her eyes sunken. She was still connected to the wires, but she looked less present, like something essential was being drained from her. The copy, by contrast, looked vibrant, alive. It had learned to mimic human warmth. In this photograph, it was smiling, and if you did not look closely, you would think it was a genuine smile. But the eyes...
The eyes don't lie, Chico. The eyes don't lie, Chico. This is crazy work. Like, how we come this far and we have to call it fiction? And the crazy thing is, if something like this goes on, if you got to go through this much extensive, if you have to go through this much, if you have to go through this much work, this much extensive work to hide what you're doing, that right there in itself proves how weak you are. You gotta be a weak sumbitch to be able to pull this off, number one. But you have to be extremely weak to do this, hidden the way it's hidden, if this was a true statement. I mean, if this was a true story, I should say, because they said it was fiction at the beginning. But when the LIVESTREAM files came out, we found out that none of that was, all that stuff was true. Well, none of it fake. But yet they have to hide what they're doing, but then somehow it's documented and talked about and recorded in video clips and footages. But then when they do come out to the light, nothing happens. But I digress. Let's continue.
The eyes were still empty. The final photograph in the sequence was dated November 2002, just 4 months before I met the copy in that Burbank studio. It showed only one figure, the copy, fully activated, fully integrated. It stood alone in what looked like a performance space, mid-song, its arms raised, its face radiating joy. It had become Beyoncé. Or rather, it had become what Beyoncé was supposed to become. A flawless performing entity built to withstand the crushing weight of global superstardom. There was one more photograph in the envelope. This one had no date. It showed a long, sterile hallway lined with doors. Each door had a small window and a label. The labels were codes. ARC for East, ARC 11 South, ARC 19 Northwest. Archive locations. Behind one of those doors was the original Beyoncé. Conscious, alive, but trapped, stored. Watching her copy live the life she was supposed to live. Achieve the success she was supposed to achieve. Become the legend she was supposed to become. And she would stay there forever. I called Madonna immediately. My hands were shaking so badly I could barely hold the phone. "Where did you get these?" I asked. "The defector," she said. "He smuggled them out before he disappeared. This is how it works. This is what they do, and this is what they wanted to do to me. We have to stop this," I said. "We have to tell someone."
You hear that? This is what they do, and this is what they wanted to do to me. So in this video, in this fictional story, she's selling people out because she's afraid that she's going to get done like that, and she doesn't want to get done like that. So in order for her not to get done like that, she turns into a recruiter to get people done like that so she don't get done like that. But inevitably, in the end, she's still going to get done like that. Or if not, then she's still going to face some kind of whatever fateful or brutal ending. Doesn't change the fact, but she don't want to get done like that. She don't want to be put, she doesn't want her original self to be put isolated away in a place where her clone goes somewhere. So she wants to still be able to free roam in her real body. But at the same time, you're running around here throwing people under the bus, being like a, I don't know, like a Mad Dom sort of sense. But it's weird though when you hear this, because if you remember, there was a story that they have Rihanna told, that she said that, you know what, I won't tell the story, I'll let her tell it. Let's go ahead and let's let her tell the story. Let's see. Let's see. Let's see if I can find that story, because the way they told the story was interesting. Rapper, podcaster, signed a deal. A few months later, his son. Oh wow. Okay. Oh, that's interesting. Oh wow. I never thought about that. That's interesting. All right, let me actually, I got to come back to that later. That's crazy. All right, let me see if I can find it though. Let me see, because I find it all the time. Let's see. How did that go? See if we can find the whole story. How did this story go? I'm not gonna be able to find it. But anyway, how the story goes, allegedly, this artificial story that Rihanna made up was that she was supposed to sign to Jay-Z. And she went to go sign to Jay-Z. But when she got there to sign, they kind of gave her an ultimatum. Either you're going to sign that deal or you're going to get, thrown out that window. Here it is. Let me see if she tells the story. I think this is it. I think I found it. Let's see if this is it. Here we go. Let's check this out.
We don't sing songs here, we sing artists. And there was this little pause, and I was nervous. But then he said, and we're interested. And there was this sudden feel of relief. But then he said something about a window and a door. Oh, then he said, he said the whole word. I did a lot of work on you this lady. He said, there are two ways to leave here, either through the door with the deal sign or through this window, and we're on the 29th floor.
Well, there you have it. It's 2 ways to sign this deal. Through the door with a deal sign or through this window. So it's interesting when you see how this story, this fictional story that we're listening to, how this fictional story is, but then you're hearing how how Rihanna, with her own words, said how the deal was signed. Either you're going to sign this deal and walk out the door, or you're going to go out this window. And who knows if in this story, it's Madonna. Madonna doesn't want to be put in a situation like this, where her real body is trapped somewhere and then her clone self takes over her, what her real body would be doing, and she gets stuck in a room while the clone basically goes off and does whatever. So Madonna's like, I don't want to get done like that, so therefore I have to recruit people. How do we know that these people getting people to sign deals are in the same position recruiting people to get them to get put in positions like this fictional story is saying? It's weird. It's, you know, how the truth comes to life in these stories. They tell the truth. But let's keep going.
Expose this. Free her. We cannot. Madonna cut me off, her voice hard. Do you think I have not tried? Do you think I have not spent years trying to find the archive, trying to get proof that would hold up, trying to find someone in power who is not part of this? It is impossible. They own everything. The industry, the media, the legal system. Anyone who gets too close disappears. The defector is probably dead by now. Then why show me? I asked. Why tell me any of this if we cannot do anything? Because someone needs to know, Madonna said quietly. Someone needs to witness. And someone needs to remember that these women, these legends we worship, they paid a price that no one should have to pay. The real Beyonce never made it out. But at least now, you will remember that she existed. But Madonna was wrong about one thing. There was something we could do. Something she had not considered. And it would cost me everything. I became obsessed. For weeks after returning to New York, I could not think about anything else. The photographs haunted me, the image of the real Beyonce, terrified and connected to those wires, trapped while her copy took over her life. Madonna had said the defector was probably dead, but she had also said probably, not definitely, which meant there was a chance, however small, that he was still alive, still hiding, still holding more pieces of the truth. I started digging. I used every resource Madonna's position gave me access to. I searched through her old files, her contacts, her encrypted emails. I called in favors from people who owed her. I followed digital trails that went nowhere. And then, finally, found one that went somewhere. His name was Marcus Webb. He had worked as a medical technician for a private company called Zenith Wellness Solutions from 1997 to...
All right, so we're going to see if that's wholesome truth, because we already found out that Zenith Wellness Solutions, is that a real thing? Because last time we typed in something, it turned out to be a real thing. Let's see. We just have to try it because, I mean, Jesus. Oh, boy, here we go again. Dun, dun, dun. All right, it said it was from the 70s. All right, so, okay, yeah. Okay, years in business. Oh, that's not the word I'm looking for. Let's see right here. How long has this place been around? Just curious. All right, cool. That's a made-up one. Just had to make sure because last one turned out to be true, and that was kind of crazy. Let's keep going.
The company did not officially exist. No website, no public records, no tax documents. The company was from 19 as a medical technician for a private company called Zenith Wellness Solutions from
Oh, it's a private company. That's why.
1997 to 2003. The company did not officially exist. No website, no public records, no tax documents. But if you knew where to look, you could find traces. Invoices paid by major record labels, NDAs signed by industry executives, whispers in the darkest corners of the entertainment world. Marcus had disappeared in late 2003, right around the time Madonna received those photographs. But I found a lead. A former colleague who had stayed in touch with him, who knew he was alive and hiding somewhere in northern Canada. It took me 2 months to convince this colleague to give me a location. It cost me $10,000 of my own money and the promise that I would never reveal how I found him. In June 2003, I flew to a town 4 hours north of Vancouver. Marcus lived in a cabin so remote you could only reach it by hiking 3 miles through dense forest. He answered the door with a hunting rifle. "Who sent you?" he demanded. "Madonna," I said. "I work for her. She showed me the photographs. I need to know more." He stared at me for a long moment, then lowered the rifle. "You should not have come here. They will kill you for knowing what you know." "I need to understand how this works," I said. "I need to know if there is a way to stop it." He let me inside. The cabin was sparse, just the necessities. But the wall...
Seems like the person that he's talking to, referring to, the only people that is living the way this guy is, or whoever this person is right here, whatever his character is, will be the Amish. The Amish got this down pat. This is the way you got to end up living. You know, no technology where they can't really find you, you know, in the cabin, you got your firewood, not much electricity and all that stuff, you know what I mean? Gotta go off that grid, man. Stay off the grid and, you know, live a life of, you know, less technology and a simple, simplicity way of living. The Amish got that down pat. They got that down right. They don't worry about nothing. Government says, oh no, we gotta do this, we gotta do that. The Amish is like, yeah, whatever, nigga. I ain't gotta hear your bullshit. You shit don't apply to me. I don't use none of your stuff. So it's one of the ways you gotta get back to.
He had been continuing his research even in hiding. "There is no stopping it," he said immediately. "The system is too big, too entrenched. It has been running for over 50 years, maybe longer." "Tell me how it works," I said. He poured us both coffee and began to talk. For 3 hours, he laid out the entire process. The identity harvest starts with identification. They look for talent that has the potential to reach icon status. Not just famous, but legendary. The kind of fame that transcends music or acting and becomes cultural worship. Once identified, the subject is approached, usually through their management or label. They are offered a special contract buried in legal language that references consciousness optimization and career longevity enhancement.
Hey, I gotta see if that's a thing, if that's real. I already found it was real, but they put that in contracts. Consciousness optimization, career longevity management. That is in your contract, bruh. They finna screw you over like you wouldn't believe. So if anybody's out there, hopefully if you have a record deal or a contract, let me know if that is in your contract. I would love to know. Maybe I have to look it up and see if you can find a record deal contract and just read it and see if you can find it in there.
Most do not understand what they are signing. Some do and sign anyway, desperate for the guaranteed success. The process takes 6 to 18 months. It begins with neural mapping, capturing every aspect of the subject's consciousness, personality, and memories. This is done gradually during sessions disguised as therapy or medical checkups. Simultaneously, the copy is being grown. Not cloned in the traditional sense, Marcus explained, but manufactured using technology he did not fully understand. Biosynthetic materials, programmable neural networks, something between organic and artificial. The copy learns by observing. It watches the original, absorbs their mannerisms, studies their voice and movements. It has access to all the mapped consciousness data, so it does not just mimic the original. It becomes...
Hey, that's crazy work right there. That is crazy. Oh, wow. So let's just say hypothetically this is real. And they have this person in here, but then you see this person is performing on stage, right? Literally performing on stage. And this cognization is linked to the live person put somewhere. So their brain is linked to what we see a person out here live perform. That's crazy work if that is real. Because then again, what is neuroplasticity? What is you know what? That was a word earlier. I didn't look that up. I shouldn't have skipped over a word. What is neuroplasticity? There we go. What is that word? What does that mean? What is neuroplasticity? It's the brain ability to reorganize the structure and functions by performing new neural connections to learning experiences or injury. This dynamic process allows the nervous system to adapt throughout the life, shifting functions. All right. So question. Can the brain produce Wi-Fi? Human brain cannot naturally produce Wi-Fi signals because it lacks biological organs to transmit high-frequency gigahertz spectrum radio waves. However, the brain communicates internally with emphatic coupling, where endogenous electric fields allow signals to jump across physical tissue gaps without direct synaptic contact. Can the brain... So then it depends, for example, I'm trying to think, because like this right here, this image right here, this is a cold ass image. This is a cold image. Like thinking if this could utterly be possible, because this person could be still linked inside of this fake version or a skin, either call this a shapeshifter or a clone version of this person. But the consciousness is transported over here, or the oh man, this is wild, and you're seeing like all the different ones. Oh my, this is a crazy, and this right here is one of them things that I'm like, man, this shit right here, this ain't out the realm of impossibility. I don't see it. This is not outside the realm of impossible, because what if you have, you know, like missing people who go missing, but you still have them. I don't know. There's so many ways I could go about this. There's so many different ways we could talk about this. But I guess for the people who have influence, you lock them up like this. For the people who go missing, well, the Epstein files talked about that. We'll leave it at that. If you went missing, go look at some Epstein files. Then then you can understand that. But if you have influence or power, then this would be the fate that you end up having, because they can utilize it for power and influence. And just look at this, bro. Like they kept the human body alive, and then just, man, that is crazy work. That's crazy work.
Them, or at least a perfected version of them.
Remember in this video that I showed you where Kai's friend said, let me show you. Where is it at? Where's the video? Right here. So when this guy said, Kai texted me, this shit right here. Listen to this.
Kai just texted me and said, I'm underwater. My network is off. I'm in the ocean. I'm on the way to Antarctica.
And then when you look at this video, like, look at this. This is crazy work, yo. This is crazy. I'm just saying. Ain't nothing out the realm of impossible.
The final stage is the transfer. The original consciousness is fully extracted and placed into archive storage. Their body is maintained in a medically induced stasis, kept alive but non-functional. Meanwhile, the copy is activated and integrated into the original's life. The transition happens during a planned absence, a retreat, or private vacation. When the star returns to public life, it is the copy. What happens to the originals in the archive? I asked, dreading the answer. Marcus looked at me with hollow eyes.
Uh-oh.
They are conscious, fully aware. They can see and hear through monitoring systems. They watch their copies live their lives, give their performances, accept their awards. They watch everything they were supposed to be, and they cannot do anything about it.
Okay, this is how you know it's AI, because it says live their lives. The AI can't distinguish the English language, so it said live their lives. It's supposed to be live their lives, but live and live is spelled the same way. So this is how we know this is an AI story. All right, so let's just call a spade a spade. But this is like Get Out. You know what I mean? How they were going to transfer the consciousness into somebody else's body. This is just like the movie Get Out. So they're just explaining the movie Get Out. That's all they're doing. Explaining the movie Get Out. The movie Get Out had, oh man, the movie Get Out was crazy. And then you had that, I think They Cloned Tyrone, or whatever that movie's called. Or They Cloned Tyrone. So Get Out and They Cloned Tyrone. But I look at this as like, I think it's shapeshifters. I think it's, shapeshifters that's taking over. Could be clones, but then I think it's shapeshifters that are like changing the consciousness of the people. Because remember in Get Out, they were trying to, at the end of it, when you got like, when they put them on the table and they were about to actually like remove the consciousness, they cut open that one dude's head. They're about to take the consciousness from one person and put it into another. I'd be wondering if the shapeshifters have the consciousness put inside them and then they shape shift into the, I'm just curious. I'm just thinking outside the box. I don't know how they do it. Or they, connect their stuff like this and, they can see their consciousness inside some, I don't know how they change the consciousness. It's crazy to think about, but I don't think it's all the way cloning. I think it's shape shifting. That's the thing. You make you think it's cloning, but in reality, it's just some shape shifting ass creatures.
They are prisoners in their own bodies, stored in a facility they can never escape from. Where is the facility? I asked. That is the one thing I do not know, Marcus said. That information was above my clearance level. But I know it exists. And I know Beyonce was processed there. I was part of her team. Then came the most devastating news of all. Marcus stood up and walked to a locked cabinet in the corner of the cabin. He opened it and pulled out a video cassette. I smuggled this out the night I ran, he said. I have never shown it to anyone. If they knew I had this, they would hunt me to the ends of the earth. He loaded the tape into an old VCR connected to a small television. The footage was grainy, time-stamped, November 17th. 2002. Security camera footage from inside the facility. The image showed a white room, clinical and cold. In the center was the real Beyonce, connected to the neural mapping equipment. But this was not one of the early sessions. This was near the end of the process. You could see it in her face. She looked hollowed out, like something vital had been drained from her. A technician entered the frame, checking the equipment. Then a door opened off camera, and two figures walked in. One was a man in an expensive suit. The other was the copy. The copy was fully developed now, identical to the original except for that flatness in the eyes. It stood perfectly still, observing. The man in the suit spoke. The footage had no audio, but Marcus provided narration. That is Dr. Reeve, he said, head of the program.
I always wonder if them suits, like you always see like these people in suits. I wonder if them suits like have a, I don't know, some kind of like technology or power distilled in all these suits. Cause all these people wear these same damn suits. All these politicians and powerful people, they all wear suits. It's like Agent Smith. Was it Agent Smith in the Matrix? All wore black suits. It's like they all wear suits. It's like we see it in real time. These people wear suits, literally like the bad guys in the movie.
Program. He's telling the original that the process is almost complete, that in 2 weeks, the transfer will be finalized. On screen, the real Beyonce began to move, agitated, pulling against the restraints that held her to the chair. She was clearly speaking, shouting, pleading. Her face showed pure desperation. The copy watched with detached curiosity. Not sympathy, not recognition, just observation. Dr. Reeve made a gesture, and the technician adjusted something on the equipment. The original Beyonce's body went rigid, then slack. Her eyes were still open, still aware, but she could not move anymore. Paralytic override, Marcus said quietly. Once they initiate that, the original has no physical control left. They are just consciousness trapped in a non-responsive body. The copy approached the original. It stood directly in front of her, studying her face like examining a blueprint.
Isn't that what the Matrix was about when Keanu Reeves woke up? They were all just consciousness trapped in a non-responsive body. Wasn't that the whole point of the Matrix? Like, wasn't that the point of the Matrix when you finally get to the, you know what? Let's see. When you finally get to the big part of the Matrix, you find out that he was plugged in. Let me see if I can show you. Let me see if I can show you the scene I'm talking about. Where is it? Where is the scene? Is he escapes the Matrix or he wakes up? Keanu escapes the Matrix. Let me see. He didn't escape. Or he wakes up. All right, here it is. Let me see if I can find a good picture of it. Where's a good picture of this so I can show you what I'm talking about? It's the same concept. The body was just there, plugged in. Like literally. And this is what they're explaining in this video. They're explaining the same thing. The consciousness was trapped in a body. Ah, damn it. I can't really find any good pictures, but you get the point if you've seen the movie. You'll know what I'm talking about when I show you this. Let's see more results. Maybe they got other pictures of it. Come on, where we at? Where are we? Come on. I just want to show this part. Okay, screw it. This is it right here. This is what I'm talking about. This part right here. If you remember the Matrix, the movie, this part where he was trapped inside of the human body or the thing, the little pod, and he ended up breaking out of it, waking up from the Matrix. You remember this part? Yeah, he woke up, but when he looked out, he saw a bunch of different. Here it goes. This is the image I want to show you. This is it. See, a bunch of human bodies. They're all trapped in their consciousness. They're trapped in and they're actually still humans. They're trapped in their consciousness, but they were just trapped in the body, and their consciousness was trapped in the body they had no control over. So he ended up waking up, and then that's how I guess he was maybe a clone. I don't know what the hell he was, but I think he actually woke up because his consciousness was trapped in the body and they had him plugged in. So kind of like when we're watching this, we're seeing this right here. How in this video, she's plugged in, similar to like this right here. How she's like plugged in. Or actually, a better image was this one. How she's plugged into the Matrix. You know what I mean? That's a good way to look at it. And this is what they're explaining basically in this video. But let's continue.
It stood directly in front of her, studying her face like examining a blueprint. Then it did something that made my blood run cold. It smiled. Not a warm smile, not a cruel smile, just a perfect, practiced smile. The smile that would soon grace magazine covers and music videos around the world. The smile that would make millions of people fall in love with what they thought was Beyoncé. The original Beyoncé was crying. You could see the tears running down her face, even though she could not move, could not speak, could not do anything but watch this thing wearing her face, prepare to take over her entire life. The footage ended. I sat in silence, my hands clasped tightly together to stop them from shaking.
And the question would be, if this hypothetical situation was real, how long could they keep you trapped in conscious state like that? Like, how long could they keep you trapped in that state? How long could they keep your consciousness trapped inside of your body? How long? That's the $1 million question. How long could they keep you trapped like that? Because then at that point, you're like, well, then death would be the remedy to free you from that. Death is like the freeing of you as opposed to you being trapped like that. So I guess at some point we'll realize that death is freedom, in a sense, if you play your cards right, and not a trap, potentially.
That was 3 months before Crazy in Love dropped, Marcus said. 3 months before the copy made its full public debut. By the time that song hit #1, the real Beyoncé was already archived, already erased from the world. Why are you showing me this? I asked. Because Madonna was right to try to document this. Because someone needs to know the truth. But also because I need you to understand something. He leaned forward, his expression intense. You cannot save her. You cannot expose this. If you try, you will disappear just like I had to disappear. Just like others who tried before us disappeared. The only thing you can do is survive and remember. That is not enough, I said. It has to be enough, Marcus said, because the alternative is that everyone forgets these women ever existed as real people, that they become nothing but the manufactured legends that replaced them. He was right, and I hated that he was right. I left Canada the next day. The weight of what I knew crushing me. I returned to New York and continued working for Madonna, but everything had changed. I could not look at Beyoncé's image without seeing that white room, that terrified woman connected to wires, that empty copy preparing to steal her entire existence.
That's crazy. Sitting here watching it happen in real time. Just like the Matrix image. Just like the Matrix image. Is this it? Yeah, just like the Matrix image. You're connected to your consciousness, but you're watching this version of you, this version of you basically take hold and dominate. That's crazy. Wow.